You've seen the movies, black uniforms, armored trucks, flashbangs through windows. You think you know what SWAT is? You don't. SWAT isn't a job you apply for. It's a job you survive your way into. Most officers never make it. Many who try quit, and the ones who stay, they carry something no camera ever captures. This isn't a highlight reel. This is what it actually costs. Level by level, year by year, decision by decision, this is your life at every SWAT rank. Before there's a badge on your chest and a rifle in your hands, there's something most people never talk about. Years of ordinary work, years of proving yourself before anyone even considers you for the team. SWAT doesn't recruit rookies. It takes the best of the best and then breaks them down again just to see who's left standing. You don't start here in black tactical gear. You start at the bottom in a patrol car, answering calls nobody else wants. And the clock starts now. Level 1, Patrol Officer. Your first day in patrol, you feel it. The weight of the badge is real, the gun on your hip is real, and the fear, that's real too. You're a patrol officer now. Your beat is a grid of streets, addresses, and faces. Some people are glad to see you, most aren't sure. You answer calls for 12 hours straight, domestic disputes, fender benders, overdoses in parking lots. You write reports until your hands ache. You go home, sleep, and do it again. The days blur, but here's what's happening underneath the boredom. You're learning how people behave under pressure. You're learning how to talk someone down from the edge of a decision they can't take back. You're learning how to read a room, a car, a face, in under 3 seconds. This is your foundation, and without it, you'll never be considered for anything more. 6 months in, you respond to a call that changes you. A man barricaded inside a house. You're the first car on scene. You wait for backup. You watch the door. Your hand doesn't shake. That surprises you. Your sergeant notices. You don't know it yet, but that moment matters. Level 2, building your record. 1 year passes, then 2. You've handled more situations than most people see in a lifetime. But you're not coasting, you're building. Every commendation goes in your file. Every use of force report gets written correctly. Every call gets handled with discipline, even when you're exhausted. Because somewhere in this department, a SWAT commander's looking at files, and he's not looking for the loudest officer, he's looking for the most consistent one. You apply for high-risk warrant service on your days off. You volunteer for crowd control during riots when no one else wants the assignment. You start working out before your shifts, then after, then on your days off too. Your coworkers start calling you obsessed. You smile and say nothing because you have a goal, and you're willing to pay for it. You apply for your department's tactical unit evaluation. The letter comes back 3 weeks later. You're not selected. You read the letter twice. You fold it. You put it in your locker. And the next morning, you're back at work. That's what most people don't understand. SWAT doesn't just test your body. It tests what you do after you fail. Level 3, SWAT selection. The second letter arrives. You've been selected to attend evaluation. Selection week is 5 days long. It feels like 5 years. Day 1 starts before the sun is up. You run until your vision blurs. Then you do it again carrying weight. Then you do it again carrying a partner. The instructors don't yell at you. They don't need to. The silence is worse. They just watch. They write things down. They say nothing. By noon on day 1, 4 candidates have already quit. They walked over to a barrel in the middle of the field. They dropped their helmets in, and they left. No shame, no confrontation, just gone. You don't look at the barrel, you don't think about the barrel. You just keep moving. Day 2 is problem solving under stress. A simulated hostage scenario. You have 15 seconds to make a decision with incomplete information. There's no right answer. There's only how you handle uncertainty. Day 3 is the psychological portion. They don't just want to know if you're physically tough, they want to know what's inside your head. How do you react when a teammate fails? How do you perform when leadership is absent? How do you function when you're running on 4 hours of sleep and someone's life is in your hands? By day 5, 12 candidates remain. You are one of them. When they read the names aloud, yours is on the list. You don't cheer, you don't cry, you just nod, because you already knew what the next part was going to cost. Level 4, SWAT operator. You made the team. Congratulations. Now you're the least experienced person on it. The veterans don't haze you, they just expect you to keep up. And keeping up with operators who've been doing this for 10 years while you're brand new is its own kind of pressure. Your first 6 months are almost entirely training. Close quarters combat drills, explosive entry techniques, precision rifle qualifications, hostage rescue simulations. You run the same hallway 100 times. You breach the same door until the hinges know your boot better than you do. Every mistake is reviewed. Every hesitation is discussed. Not to embarrass you, but because on a real call, one hesitation can kill someone. That someone could be you. That someone could be your teammate. The weight of that truth never fully leaves your shoulders. Your first real activation comes on a Tuesday night. A man with a rifle has barricaded himself in an apartment with his family inside. You're on the stack. Third position. You wait outside a door in silence. Your heart rate is controlled. Your breathing is steady. Everything you trained for brought you to this exact second. The command comes. You move. It's over in 40 seconds. Nobody gets hurt. Driving home at 3 a.m., you don't feel like a hero. You feel like someone who did their job exactly the way they were supposed to. That's the feeling you'll chase for the rest of your career. Level 5. Senior operator, years pass. You've been on hundreds of activations. You've seen things that don't leave you. You are now a senior operator. The newer guys look at you the way you once looked at the veterans. You understand now what that really means. It's not about being impressive. It's about being reliable. When a call goes sideways, the team looks to you. When a rookie freezes for half a second, it's your hand on his shoulder that keeps the mission moving. You carry more now, not just gear, perspective. You've been on calls that ended well, and you've been on calls that didn't. You know the difference between a good plan and a perfect plan, and you know neither one survives contact with reality completely intact. At home, your family has learned to read your silences. They don't always ask where you've been. Sometimes they already know from your face when you walk through the door. You start mentoring the newer operators, not because anyone asked you to, but because you remember what it felt like to be the one who didn't know yet. You also start noticing something in yourself, a stillness before operations that wasn't there in the beginning. Not fear leaving, fear becoming useful. That's what experience does. It doesn't remove the weight. It teaches you how to carry it better. Level 6, team leader. You are now responsible for lives. Not just your own, but the operators who stand behind you. As team leader, you brief every mission. You study the building, the subject, the history. You plan entry points, contingency routes, medical extraction paths. You think about what happens if everything goes wrong, because sometimes it does. The mental load is constant. You review past operations in your head like film. What could you have done differently? What would you do if that scenario happened again tonight? On the day of an operation, you stand in front of your team. 8 faces looking at you. 8 people who trust you completely. You give the briefing. Your voice is calm. Your posture is solid. Because they will mirror what they see in you. If you are uncertain, they feel it. If you are confident, they carry it with them through the door. Mid-operation, something changes. Intelligence was wrong. There are more people inside than the briefing said. You have 4 seconds to adjust the plan. You call an audible. The team responds without hesitation. You adapt. You move. You finish. Afterward, you debrief every single decision, not to assign blame, to get better, because the next call is already coming. And those 8 people who followed you in today, they deserve a leader who never stops learning. Level 7, SWAT Commander. At this level, you rarely enter the building anymore. Your position is behind the command post. Maps, radios, decisions. You are the one who calls the operation on. You are the one who calls it off. You talk to hostage negotiators. You coordinate with federal agencies. You brief the chief of police live while your team is stacked outside a door somewhere in the dark. You've seen what happens when commanders make wrong calls. You carry that knowledge into every decision you make. The power of this rank is real, but so is the exposure. One bad decision, made under pressure, with incomplete information in real time, can end careers, end lives, and end your own. You don't sleep the night before a high-risk operation. Not because you're afraid, because you respect what it means. You've earned this position through 20 years of showing up. Through selection, through training, through operations that nobody will ever hear about. And every single day, you wake up knowing that somewhere in your city, your phone might ring. And when it does, your team trusts you to get them home. People see the tactical gear. They see the vehicles and the training footage. They think they understand what SWAT is. But what they don't see is the officer who didn't sleep because he keeps replaying a call in his head. The team leader who changed a plan at the last second and has never stopped wondering what would have happened if he hadn't. The commander who gave the go order and was right, but spent 3 days afterward asking himself what if he was wrong. SWAT isn't glory. It's responsibility. It's a life spent training for the worst moments humans can create for each other, and walking into them anyway. Not everyone makes it through selection. Not everyone makes it through the career. And the ones who do, they're changed by it. Some people carry that change quietly. Some carry it loudly, but every single one of them carries it. And if you've ever wondered whether you have what it takes, the answer isn't in your body. It's in what you do after you fail, what you do after the fear, what you do when nobody's watching. That's where SWAT officers are made, long before anyone ever hands them a badge.